Welcome back to Clean for Profit. Dave, let's talk about May, brother. How you doing, man?
Dude, I am great, bro. Ready to dive in, and I missed this.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's a shame that I think it's been 3 months now where we've only done this once a month, which
Yeah,
feels like the absolute bare minimum. So I
yeah.
appreciate you as always jumping on. I'm gonna try to get this put up tomorrow. It's the 5th of June, and this is a monthly recap of May. So we're gonna do 2 episodes this week. So don't curse or say your social security number because I can't.
Mhm.
I'm not editing this.
Done.
I mean, you can curse if you want, whatever, but no addresses, all of the above.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I don't curse at all, but I am tempted to just spew my social from now,
yeah,
just
for
every now
sure.
and again, you know?
It's a temptation we all deal with for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
How much revenue did Glass Therapy do in May?
$44,058.48.
No way, dude. Okay, we did $44,130.
Oh yeah, buddy. Bro,
Not
you
bad,
beat
dude.
it. Let's go.
I beat you by literally a few dollars. That's insane.
Bro, that's awesome. By what? Like, what was that? Like 50 something bucks you
Did
beat
you
me
say
by?
44,050 something?
44,058.
Yeah, so I beat you by 120, I think.
Oh,
Something
bro,
like that.
let's go.
Not bad.
Congratulations.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, it was wild. It was absolutely wild. Um there's a lot to go over, man. I mean, I think I told you, I don't know how long I've even been aware of this, but like I think the it was just busy. It was really busy.
For
And I
sure.
think, I'm going to go over this briefly because I've said it so many times in the last few episodes. It's kind of been the theme of this season so far, but like I started hiring and building processes for this business in any kind of formal capacity way later than I should have.
Yeah.
And no one, like neither of us knew that this kind of momentum was going to happen, but I mean, I'm looking at my invoiced value from January 1 to today, June 4th, and I'm up 1,004% from last year.
Crazy.
Um, so
Crazy. That's insane numbers, bro.
yeah, it's pretty wild, man. But I don't even know if I did it too late. Like I said, I neither of us could have predicted like the amount of momentum that would have come out of this season. Nick says this all the time, our coach, that like momentum solves most problems.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it solves most basic problems. And then what I've found is it exposes the major problems.
100% it does.
Because as soon as you have momentum, anything that was brittle is just gonna break on you.
Yeah.
And right now, for me, that looks like everything that I need to deliver. Basically, my people are great, but like my training that I've put into them is not as good as it should and will be very shortly. The hiring process, like I started that too late. My equipment, like we have great window cleaning equipment. I spare no expense. Luckily, I'm a kind of a gear nerd, so I spend probably too much money. And now I have Steve-O, the window cleaner's direct line, so I can
Yep.
literally just text him and be
Just
like,
tell
"Hey,
them.
can you rack up a $1,500 bill for me real quick?" And he does. He's obliged to. So, um, but yeah, that's just a lot of that's been exposed lately, man. So it's really exciting. I have a little bit of space to breathe and work on it, and I have been. So, I mean, this was the one thing. I had my call with Nick a couple days ago, and we just went over like exactly what I need to get figured out in my business. So, I'm developing like a technician roadmap for like training, like a high level that technicians can get, and then documentation for how leads are supposed to work through the training process that
Yeah.
is properly reconciled with this so they can compare notes and like have a extremely short feedback loop.
Yes.
So anyways, I'll jump into more of this as we go on, but like how was your month? Let's hear from you, man. What are you taking out of this?
I mean, overall, the month was, I mean, just a major success. From a revenue standpoint, I'm very, very pleased with, where we landed. The team did amazing. we did the thing that I'm noticing that is going to help a business like ours really grow and scale is higher ticket jobs. Like my goal right now is to raise my average ticket way up, way up. And I'm noticing that when we do that, that happens in two ways. One, you can obviously, in most times you have at least a little room to increase prices. Not everyone does. Some people I think are just capped out at that. But so increasing prices, and I'm just being really intentional with trying to find large jobs.
Hmm. On
Uh,
the commercial side or on the residential
com-
side or what?
Commercial, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean residential too, but where I live, they're anomalies. Like they're far less common. I don't live in like a super prestigious area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's harder to find, but I mean, just to give an example, I had I had eight $5,000 days,
Wow.
and then I had one $10,000 day.
This month?
Yeah, in May.
Damn. Wow.
Um,
Jeez.
and the $10,000 day was actually the last day of April, not in May. But those are really, it's a big hospital that we do.
Yeah. Huh.
So
Yeah,
like
that's crazy, man.
I want that. Like that is where the more of those I can have, the better.
Yeah. That's really interesting, man. I have a pretty limited exposure to commercial stuff. I mean, it's not a matter of like lack of competence, but I mean, it's just a matter of experience in general. Like there's a lot more high-end residential where we're at.
Yeah.
And it's kind of all over the place. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about, I think one of the most exciting things about where I'm at, like there's so much that needs to be done and to get dialed in to actually get to this point, but at the same time, it feels like we're just a couple of steps away from being like, well, from me being out of the truck and from us having like a training and quality assurance process, et cetera, that's way more scalable than what we currently have, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the goal of the training documentation is to have something that I can hand to a competent operator and basically say, go execute this and I'll feed you people. Like I'll hire people, go fulfill this training
Yeah.
protocol. And my brother Colin has been more enthusiastic about being on board with that as well. He's found a lot more meaning and
he's
purpose.
still working with you.
Yeah. Well, he's getting married on Saturday, so he's selfishly taking 3 weeks off. Can't believe
geez.
it. Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Unbelievable, dude.
For a wedding.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous, dude. Dude likes girls.
What a homo.
Yeah, dude, it's horrible. I said don't make me edit this, bro. Come on, you're killing me.
Oh yeah, sorry. You're gonna have to edit that. Cut it out.
So yeah, that's one big thing with June. That's like, I've got Josiah who he's good to go on most jobs solo. So that's good.
Cool.
I've got another guy that I'm training. He's not there yet. And in fact, I mean, hiring this guy exposed some of the holes that I have in my training processes, like stuff that was too vague. And
For
now
sure.
we're 3.5 weeks in, and it's like, okay, we have to go back to like week 1.5 to correct some of these things that I didn't address up front. So it's like, we're doing that. Before we do that seriously, I need to document it.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was a super roundabout way to say, like, having Colin more into it, especially once he gets back from his honeymoon or whatever, is really cool, man, because it just feels like we're a couple steps away from being able to scale this way beyond, like, especially what I was at last year. But that's had me thinking a lot more about, like, how do we want to expand? And it's funny that you mentioned the high ticket thing because I've actually been thinking a lot more about lower ticket and higher volume. Um,
Okay.
like there's a market, like not like crazy adjusting our prices, but like, we talked one of our first episodes we ever did, we're 27 or 28 episodes in now, by the way, was
So
about recurring like contract work for residential, doing 3 exterior and 1 interior clean a year for like jobs that would normally be like 3 to 450 bucks, something like that, for 99 a month. So on the front end, the homeowner is paying a low ticket every single month, but on your end, at the end of the day, you're actually making more in revenue and doing less work overall because you're only doing one side of the glass, every time you visit. So I've been thinking a lot about that, um, because we don't live too far from Rockland, Roseville,
yeah.
and like Lincoln, where there's tons of houses that are really small or like, under 2,200 square feet, single story, super easy, like
Yep.
Rock'em Sock'em style houses that we could like do, half a dozen to 10 a day of, or you could send a solo technician out to do 4 or 5 a day. Um, and there's thousands of them, tens of thousands of houses like that in that part of Placer County. Um, so anyways, um, yeah, that's kind of the direction that I've been thinking about going. But in order to get there, like we need a really, really good training process so that we
Yep.
can get people onboarded and just say, here's your route, go do it.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, man.
I love it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it reminds me of, I mean, no one likes hearing about this company, but Fish,
Yeah.
they don't chase high ticket. They are very low ticket and insanely high volume. That's why they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's very clear both strategies work. It just depends on which one do you want to live in.
Yeah. Totally. Well, I mean, that is the downside to like a lower ticket thing is like, you know, um, when you charge more, you tend to get better clients.
For sure.
That's what I found, at least in residential. Um, but yeah, man. So I don't know. We'll see. The thing that I like about the recurring model, man, is like I think it appears like a low ticket thing up front, but for every 30 clients you have at 99 a month, you're making like 3-ish K, and you can serve 30 clients in, a handful of days, as a solo tech. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Any big takeaways from May for you? Like what? Well, first off, I did want to mention that the only thing that me beating you by $120 is not quite as impressive when you consider the fact that you took half of May off.
I have a bigger team.
Yeah,
I have a bigger
that's really
team, you know,
cool,
like
man.
I mean I have a bigger team and that I mean that's the only reason why.
Well, I just
Alexander,
like, yeah, I mean, I just like being, kind of
yeah.
talking
No,
talking shit on
it's all
myself a
good. I
little
mean,
bit.
I will say it felt really great to be able to take that amount of time off with my family.
Yeah,
And it speaks to um it honestly speaks to this idea that if you want to build something great, you can't run alone.
right.
You need great people behind you. And thankfully, I have an amazing team that I could trust and literally leave the country. And I knew that they could handle it.
Yeah, man. That's just so sweet. Congrats. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I I'm still at a point where like, I start to think a little bit about like, you know, what's going on if I'm like not in the field for a day, basically. So,
Yeah.
um, on one hand, it feels like I'm not too far, from not being there. And then on the other, um, I feel that most days still. So
For sure. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
So no, it's been good, man. And also the other side of it is I don't, it becomes easier to have the size of the team that I do, uh, because I don't have to pay myself from glass therapy. And my coaching business supports me and the family. And that's the other flip side of it, right? Is
yeah.
just income in general. I have a larger team only because I don't pay myself.
Mm, yeah, totally. Hmm. Yeah, paying yourself, like, it's we're expensive.
Yeah.
Life is expensive, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I like, Nick was talking to me about like baseline profitability, and I was looking at some of my, bank accounts, and I was like, oh no, I'm so unprofitable right now. It's ridiculous. I have like X set aside in my profit account, and like I've done this much revenue, and that's like so little compared to what's in there. And then I remember like, oh yeah, I pay myself $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
That's where the profit's going. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm taking it out of the
Dude,
business.
if I had to pay myself, I would not have 5 employees. I would have 3, which means I would also be out in the field every day almost.
Right. Okay, good. That's where I am.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So literally same thing. So
Yeah.
the coaching is what solved that problem. Is I
Yeah.
had to just quickly find a way to pay myself another with another source.
Right. Yeah, totally. That's going pretty good, by the way, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Sweet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a delivery problem more than a demand problem
Oh,
with
for
the
sure. For
coaching
the
at this point.
coaching. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I mean, the last 3 months, I have coached the max amount of people that I have the capacity to coach.
Okay, so you're like booked.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Sweet.
basically maxes out at like I can make $30,000 in a month, and that's the most I can make
Boo-hoo.
doing it by myself. You say boo?
Boo-hoo. 360 a year at 85 or 90% margin.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding. It's very expensive. There's tons of write-offs.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, for the record,
yeah.
coaching and consulting, some of the two most like high
Mm.
overhead businesses you can get into.
Yeah,
Just so you know, IRS.
Apple computers are not cheap, and that's what I
True.
use. So
True.
very
Yeah,
pricey.
good. I'm glad we had that little caveat there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is just an exciting time, man. It feels like I'm one step away from not being tied to business ops. Um, and then at the same time, like that's why it's so important right now for me to be kind of divorcing myself from the business operations. So that's it's funny being in like peak season and working on training documentation. Like I started too late. That's what it feels like. Um, but I wasn't aware of these problems either because like so much of what training is just in my head, and all of the little mini micro adjustments and notes um, that I need people to know just weren't documented. So
Yeah.
having that documented is going to be way more efficient. And yeah, so that's been the exciting thing. I think this month's lesson, like if I was talking to somebody who has been a solo operator or working with one or two people, is that like prepare now, um, and but don't over prepare. Like you need momentum to actually figure out and expose what needs to be fixed in your
Yeah.
business. But develop like a really rough training protocol. Like what are we doing day 1 through 5? What are we doing week 1 through 4? What are the, pass fail requirements for these different phases of training? And what does it look like to be successfully onboarded after day, 60, let's say, as a technician? That way you and the tech that you hire know that right from the start. And it's not just like trying to learn through osmosis, because that is going to take you 6 months instead of 60 days.
Yep.
So yeah. And then like my other note is like I waited to hire, to buy vehicles, to document training. All of these things would have felt like way higher stakes and like sort of scarier financially if I hadn't waited and done it earlier, like November to January. But in hindsight, like I think as soon as I started seeing any momentum with Facebook ads, for example, I like all the more reason to like just invest immediately.
Yeah, 100%.
Um,
Here's the thing: we as human beings, I think, need to really practice at uh like blocking out this reflex ability to ignore risk or avoid risk, rather, I think is the best way to put it.
yeah,
Um, because at the end of the day, dude, even if you bought trucks early or hired people early and your plan didn't work, like what actually is the worst case scenario? Is it that bad?
no, not at all.
Like that's the thing. For most instances, our worst case scenario is really not that. Like if you really take a step back, you're like, what is the absolute worst thing that could possibly happen from this decision? And it's like I spend 20 grand on a truck and it's a expensive paperweight in my driveway, and I'm like, sell the truck.
Right.
What it didn't work. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's way
Right.
better to be prepared and have it all in advance. And also just taking a step back and realizing that we catastrophize everything in our minds as humans, almost always.
Yeah.
And it's far beyond what the actual worst case scenario usually would end up being, which is also
Yeah.
an incredibly rare thing to happen.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. I know that from having gone through this first like firing thing with this
Yeah.
technician that I had before. It was like, man, I spent like a solid 2 weeks thinking about just BS basically related to this
100%, dude.
guy and like
Yeah.
what's gonna happen if I say this and then he responds in this way. And it's just like, you know, ultimately, like when I let him go, I think he knew. Because it was just basically like, okay, and we shook hands and like split. Um,
And
which is
that's
so
that's that's that stole so much mental capacity from you for like
oh
so
my
long,
God.
way too
Yeah,
long.
dude, I mean, we were talking during that time, and it
Yeah.
was like, in a way, I wish you had said that. Nick said that. I need to hear it from multiple people, I think. But like, yeah, I
I
let
like how
it
you said we
stake.
were talking during that time, like we were
Well,
broken up
yeah,
or
I was whining to you. That's what
yeah.
was happening. I was whining. Yeah, it did. It stole so much mental capacity, and it's just funny because like now I know when stuff like that comes up again, it's like not even a thing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a red flag. I need to address it and squash it immediately, or we need to move on.
Yeah.
And like I need to figure out, like I need to find somebody else,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Um,
We had someone that we thought we were going to fire, and two weeks ago my Alexander, my team lead, called me. Basically, he's basically my operations manager. And he was like, "Hey, man, like I just have some concerns about this employee, and it happens. It's our only female employee. Um, and he's just like, she's not keeping up. Like I have to give her. She doesn't do anything unless I tell her what to do.
mm,
Um, and even then, like very slow, not really keeping up the pace. She can't keep up with the guys."
yeah,
And he's like, I think we should fire her. And I was like, well, hang on a second. We hired her. Let's at least give this person the respect of sitting down and sharing our concerns and giving them a roadmap to fix those concerns. And then we'll say, here's our concerns. Here's what we want you to do and what you can do to fix them and improve them. And you have 2 weeks. And we're going to follow up in 2 weeks and see how you're doing. And tomorrow is her 2 week mark, and complete 180. We will not be firing her.
good.
So
Yeah, yeah,
it's also just giving people too the opportunity to say, obviously, if you have like severe red flags, get rid of people, right?
yeah,
But also give people, I think it give people the at least time to show themselves as capable, because if they don't know, you don't know what you don't know either.
yeah,
So, and dude, it was totally worth having the conversation. But if you have red flags, fire them quickly. I think a lot of people put their ego is caught up in their hiring, and it's like, how could I offer a job to the wrong person? There's no way. I know who I need. It's like, don't have your ego caught up in it either.
Yeah. Yeah, totally, man. Yeah, I think yeah, unless it's major, red flags like crazy disrespect for customers or you, there's obvious exceptions where it's like, yeah, that's okay, we're axing you. You ran into one of those a couple months ago.
Sure did. I was thinking
But
about it.
yeah, there's a lot I've had those conversations with my employers in the past
Yeah.
where it's like, hey,
Yeah, me
dude,
too.
you've been here 2 months or whatever, and you're not meeting these expectations. This, and this, you're like too slow at, or don't do it enough quality, or you're not attentive in your job in these specific ways. And it's like, this doesn't meet the standard of your employment. Fix this now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we'll talk in a week or two. And I basically go, oh crap. Okay, here we go. And
That was the only thing that was the
yeah.
only thing that ever motivated me as an employee, is like I had to be scared
Yeah,
for my job
me too. Me
because I
too.
just hated working for somebody else.
Yeah, dude, I know, me too. Dude, we
Like, oh,
suck. We're terrible employees.
I made the worst employee
Me too.
ever.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too, man. Me too. Yeah, my first job was at the local grocery store, and I got super fired from that. Mainly
Oh,
just because I didn't care.
yeah, I've been
I
fired.
was,
Dude, I've been fired so many times. So
yeah,
many times.
that's great. Cool, man. I love that we're both losers in that way. It's great. Uh, yeah, man. Yeah, it was a good month, man. I think the theme was like prepare now. What's the worst case? And like for me, literally on like even at a business level, the worst case like that could possibly happen
Mm.
is like I don't even know how this would happen. It almost certainly won't, but it's like I lose all my employees. I'm down to one truck,
Yeah.
and it's back to
I'm
being
back
in the
to cleaning
truck
windows myself.
making 20 grand a month. It's like, oops.
Yeah, because that's the thing
Dang.
in this industry. If I have to lay 5 people off, that's fine. I will still have a window cleaning and pressure washing company that's still gonna, at minimum, I'm gonna be able to do 20K a month by myself.
Right. Yeah. It's like, oh,
Whatever.
darn. I'll
Yeah.
make 250 as a solo. Shoot.
Yeah.
And have 80% margins back.
Yeah. And less
That
headaches.
too. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Way less
Yeah.
headaches.
Yeah, no doubt. Cool, man. What's June looking like for you?
Terrible.
What terrible? Again.
So, yeah, bro, like I cannot get, so a couple things. I actually just got off a call with another guy that I paid I paid for an hour of his time. He owns a company, a pressure washing and window cleaning company in Rochester, New York, where I'm actually born and raised, called All Clean. His name is Luke Abbott. Ironically enough, one of the jobs that I got fired from when I was 18, he worked at the same time I did. We worked at the same place.
Oh.
He started a pressure washing company in Rochester in 2018, and they're doing around $580K a month in the spring and summer and fall.
Wow. Jeez.
Massive operation.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive operation. So he's crushing it. That said, I wanted to talk with him because our lead volume is next to nothing. So the jobs that we're getting now are either already scheduled or it's organic, but organic is very slow still.
Yeah.
So in where I live, Facebook ads I cannot crack, which is the most frustrating thing because I coach like 20 something people a month and they're crushing and I can't get them to work here anymore. They just stopped. And we've talked about this.
Yeah.
I cannot get them. I've spent $3,000 on my personal ads this month and we converted less than $3,000 worth of work from it.
Wow. Jeez. So
Isn't that nuts?
ROAS is negative.
Yeah, negative, which is complete opposite of all the other people that I teach.
Yeah. Huh.
So, and it's happening to, my largest competitor, one of my best friends, Chris, he owns Clarksville Window and Pressure Washing. Same exact thing.
Same thing. Damn.
Same thing. Spending crazy money on it. It's not converting. So I got off this call with Luke, and we talked right before we hopped on this podcast. And Luke was like, bro, so first of all, and I knew this. Sometimes the things that we know, we need to just hear it from other people.
Yep.
But he was like, you got to diversify your marketing. Like all your eggs are in one basket. And in digital marketing, that world changes so rapidly. He's like, you have to diversify, because when one stops working, which is inevitable, it will at some point, you have to have other things that bring you lead volume. So, I am going to, he has an amazing Google ads rep, and I'm going to dump a crap load of money into Google ads
Okay.
and see what happens. I might mix in some other things, but yeah, I have to diversify, and I'm not going to turn off Meta. I'm still going to use it, but at a much smaller, probably a much less ad spend amount.
Yeah. So by Google Ads, are you referring to like pay-per-click?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Okay. Because you
yeah,
do LSAs.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. But I don't
Yeah.
get anything from that either.
You don't? Oh,
Nope.
okay. Hmm.
No, very little. It doesn't move the needle. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I know we'll be all right, because we still, like, our phone rings, which is good. But I don't like the feeling of looking at next week and being like, we need like 15 more jobs for next week to be full.
Yeah.
I don't like that feeling.
No. Yeah. That's a tough one, man. That's so weird that Meta ads just aren't working in your area.
Yeah. And to be clear too, it was very similar for us for almost all of May, but we still did 44,000.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we will book out one day at a time right now.
Yeah.
And again, some people might hear that and be like, I wish I had that too. It's fine. I'm thankful that that is happening. But when you have several other people that you're responsible for paying,
Yeah.
it makes me nervous as a business owner.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I'm seeing that just looking over the horizon, and it has more to do with my availability. Like I'm still the bottleneck in my business. Where like we currently in June, we have 37/7 scheduled right now. And that's with
Crazy.
like for 2.5 of those weeks, we're going to have one less person than we did. Colin's going to be out of town.
Yeah.
So for all intents and purposes, it's basically equivalent. But then, I mean, man, July falls off a cliff. Like we've got under 10K booked for that month so far. August, we have
that's
0.
fine.
And
Yeah.
September, we're totally empty. So I don't need to look that far ahead, I don't think. But, and, and, and I've had Facebook ads off for like 5 weeks now. Just because I've had 0 time to do any estimates. And between like organic and LSAs, that fills my schedule still.
Yeah.
So when Colin gets back in the last week of June, I'm probably I think I'm gonna do a blast again. We're out of town from the 26th through the 29th. That's my version of a 2-week vacation right now.
Yeah.
Taking a Friday and a Monday off. And then I think while I'm gone, like on the 28th to the 29th, I'm gonna just like fire off a ton of ads simultaneously and put 150 to 250 a day into ads and just stack estimates so that I can book out July in, like, who knows? I mean, Meta ads might not work for me anymore, but in theory, I'll book out the rest of July and August in hopefully, a week or two. So
100%.
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, sweet, man.
Yeah, bro.
Good stuff.
This is part of owning a business.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, my transit van that I bought 3 months ago needs a transmission.
Yeah, is it completely dead or no?
No, but there's flakes in the pan.
Like metal?
So, yeah. Rebuilt transmission is going to cost me 66, and a new one like the only one they have available is aftermarket, and it would be like 10K. So I ain't doing that. And I'm also buying new or damn close to new from now on. Um, that's another thing that I took away. I was like, man, I
That's
got
why
this
I'm.
van. Yeah.
Yep. No,
At
sorry,
the
I
time,
interrupted
it
you.
felt like a deal. And now, like, when you consider the wrap and like all the maintenance that I need to get on it, I'm like at the cost of, I'm like 4K short of like buying a new Maverick, or I'm even looking a little fancier at the Tacomas and stuff like that. It's like they're another like 6 to 8K compared to the Mavericks, but they also get, 200,000 more miles usually over the course of their lifetime.
For
So
sure.
yeah, but
Yeah, to be honest, that's one of the reasons why I don't normally buy brand new cars, but I mean, it's really hard. If you don't have extra vehicles,
yeah,
I would go brand new because the second one breaks down and goes in the shop, you're done. Like
yeah,
that cuts into your revenue like crazy.
yeah.
Crazy. And that happened with us when one of my guys got in a wreck last month. Um, I told you that, I think, right? Yeah, I
Hmm.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that F-150 was gone, and then we had to have a rental for 2.5 weeks, renting a F-250 from Enterprise. It's like over $3,000.
Oh, jeez, dude.
So it's like,
Yikes.
yeah, I don't mind having a small truck payment for some of the trucks.
Yeah.
I think of it as like insurance, having a vehicle that I know is there and it's fully warranted.
Yeah.
Um, and it I didn't have to dump a bunch of cash either
Yeah.
to have it.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
I just put well, I sold another vehicle, so I put 8 grand down. But in general, like you could go buy a brand new truck, put $1,000 down, and yeah, you have a monthly payment. But I'm like, that's insurance for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Having something newer, having it covered by warranty. Yeah. I don't even know if I would go like new, but like, CarMax we've had great experience with CarMax
Yep.
when we bought our Sienna, and it was like, I want to say it was like 2,200 for an additional like 3 year, or I'm forgetting the
Warranty.
mileage and stuff like that. But I want to say it was a 3 year warranty that covers like, like mechanical failures, like not
Yep.
maintenance, but like if the tranny goes out or if there's issues with the engine, like it's covered.
Yep.
That's a huge insurance policy.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
sweet.
100%, dude.
Right on,
Awesome.
man. Yeah. Thanks for hopping on, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on and listening, everybody. This has been Clean for Profit, and we will talk to you next week.